Here we go. Episode number 2. All right. I always wonder, is this what I like to do? Is this my hobby? Or actually, I'm just spending up my time? Let's see today what answer can we extract.
Let's do it. Since the beginning of humanity, there's been a question that everyone does in a funny way. What was first, the egg or the chicken? And there's no clear answer, there are many theories, and you can actually search for tons of videos out there. But what was first, we don't know. But we can actually extrapolate that same irony, that same question or philosophical question to work. And today I want to bring something that came out the other day while I was working. And it's a question of whether or rather working in what you like or working in something that you like. And may sound the same. I think I said the same thing, but what I mean by that is that people often don't work in what they dream or what they like because they fear that that thing will take away the likeness of that things. So it's basically if a hobby can become a job and it's still a job, or if hobbies should stay hobbies and we should not worry about that and work in something else. And that's the topic. So let's jump right into it and why I'm actually bringing this today. Let me rewind you, set you back into this story. When I work with a sales channel, okay? Well, a sales force with different channels, but that's not the main thing. Last Friday, I was with the director of one of them. We were actually planning to release a new CRM into the Salesforce and into actually developing step by step. So we are on going for phase 3 to implement like almost everyone. And in between conversations, in between those things, we came to talk about hobbies, about what we did in our free time. And by coincidence, he started talking about his previous year as a rock band player. Okay, he was the main singer of many rock bands. He showed me where he played, what he sang, all of those things, and how he liked it so much. To the point that he actually finished working, traveled to a different city, trained there. Like he played with the team, with the band, and then he actually played concerts, fill football stadium. That was amazing. And I was not alone. I was with one of my colleagues, and in between all those amazing anecdotes of how he traveled, how he fills up, how he was doing tours around Spain, there was this question about then why? Why did you stop it? Because he's no longer doing it. Why did you not pursue that path to the end and actually make it your own job? And it was here when he actually said the following, and it's that he liked playing music. It was his main way of breaking through, of putting out what he loved. And he knew the moment that he started doing it professionally that he has to fulfill certain requirements. It was no longer going to be the same enjoyment that he had all along. And then he mentioned one thing, that he considered a job a way of gaining money. So that's why he started working as a sales agent, because it was the fastest, easiest, and best way to gain a lot of money with his sets of skills. And he has this job because it fills up the requirement of gaining a lot of money. This was the first point that he made, that we leave it there. The second point, and he make a clear distinction between two things, is that you like your job or you like what you're doing in your job. So he liked what he's doing because he's achieving stuff, he's setting up goals, he's achieving them, he's improving the sales channel, he's improving the company, and every time he makes slight adjustment, everything goes better. And you can see that clearly on results month after month. But the fact that he liked those things doesn't mean he likes his job. He likes what he's getting and he's doing with it, the people he's not in, but it's not his main job. And that actually put me to think, and it's what I'm bringing today, which is actually that's kind of true, half not, depending what you see, what you think, and what you actually see world like. Because for me, there are certain differences, okay? I don't see a job as a way of getting money. You gain money as a consequence of your job. Of course, you want to gain more money and you want to be better, but that's secondary. So you get the money when you're working. Because I work in something that I like. And that's where I started realizing that what I'm doing, my current job, a marketing business analyst, I like that. But it's not the job that I love. In fact, what I love is talking. So for me, the job, I like it because I get to talk to people and I get to learn and I get to put my set of skills into use. But I'm not in love with the job. I don't know if you see it. It's a bit confusing even for me explaining it right now. So the easy example is when people are told to follow their dream. So they go on and study art and history and philosophy. And then you finish your degree, your studies, and then you're out with nothing. Because even though you love it, you see that it's actually impossible to get a job with that. So your passion, it's not directly corresponded by what all we need, or what everything, I think that we need above all, money. So you start thinking about it, and then you study what you love, but you cannot work about it. So you take a job that fulfill that money part, and in your free time, you try to put your passion into use. And that happens a lot to many people who are not able to work on the thing that they love. For example, I love video games, but I know that I cannot work in video games for many reasons, and because maybe I didn't put it the time to get into the industry, I don't have the knowledge. But would I like to? Would that be my dream job? Maybe. But maybe because I don't know what those people do. I don't know the compromises they need to do on the job. In order to gain your life by playing video games, which is what I love, what would I need to sacrifice for? In the case of that director that was telling you, if he wanted to be a main singer of a band, if he wanted to travel around Europe to fill many stadiums, you were forced to do things that he didn't like a set amount of compromises, a set amount of events. You needed to sing exactly what they wanted in the way they wanted. So when you start working on what you like, the freedom of that start disappearing. So he literally refuses to keep on his dream or his hobby into a job. And I wonder how many people actually do the same thing, because you don't want to be forced to do things that you don't want. For example, and I'm thinking now in my case, because this is my podcast and this is what I do. I love talking, and I realized that not long ago. But what would happen if for me, in order to talk, I would need to do or say the same speech over and over and over again? Would I like that? Maybe not. Would I like a different way? Completely. So what happened if by putting my voice out there, I cannot say things that I cannot say the things that I may consider? That would be quite contradictory to the dream of working on what you like. For example, now in the job that I have, I cannot do some things. I cannot move freely because there is a hierarchy, there is a strong politic in this main big company. So if you want to move between things and you want to ask, you need to follow certain requirements, and there's a hierarchy and you cannot do things freely. Things that I would love to do. So, in fact, his reasoning all along wasn't that wrong. So, and he totally believed that you can't work on that thing that you love the most. Your passion will never be your job. That was his main point. That maybe it's because the way he lived his experiences that has led them to think that way. I still truly believe that you can work on what you love, but maybe not as you think, maybe not as you thought in the first place. Because for me, well, I don't know. I always got in my mind that I wanted to do marketing, that I love numbers, and that I would do something related to that. I would never, I actually need, I didn't know exactly what was going to be the end result. I just follow the things that led me to this place. So maybe it's that, maybe it's the judgment that we have on, or the thoughts that we have of what are we going to end up with. Because if you have a really close expectancy of what is going to look like, then reality will never match imagination or thoughts. But because I never had a clear idea, I knew what it should have, then maybe that's why I love what I do. Because there are certain parts of the job that you don't like, and I think that will happen everywhere and every time. I would like to know more about this. I would like to talk to more people, and that's something that we'll actually be curious about and talk to and ask more often. Do you actually love your job? What you do? Because what I like the job right now is that I get to talk to different people, a lot of people, of many topics, many ideas, and exchange and evolve and keep thinking and thinking and thinking. But what happened in one moment in life, I'm stuck to the same conversation with the same people. Maybe I wouldn't like talking that much and I start talking less. What happened if this project of me of talking in front of a camera evolved to a point that I can no longer do this, or I'm forced to stop? Who knows why? Maybe I don't like that job anymore or that much anymore. It's complicated. It requires a lot of thinking, a lot of process, and it leads to a much deeper thought about it. But that was it, because this thought of not being able to work on that thing that you love actually changed my topic on the podcast completely, because what I was going to talk is how much I love my job. Because it was days prior to that I got to have really excitement, really tiring, but so much profound day. Because on the same day I got to do all of this, okay? I got to teach and talk to the Salesforce about how to use the CRM. I got to study and learn how to deploy a report. But not only that, I learned with the data analyst how to set up the model of data. And then I did back testing, I report problems, and they solve it, and we find solutions. And then we plan meetings. So in a whole day, I talked to 10 people from Salesforce, 10 more from my department, the supplier from the CRM, and things were well, things were moving forward, and the project is moving in a good rhythm. And I remember coming back home, jumping of excitement, of happiness. That was the day I was super happy. The following day, when I have two meetings, 2 hours of development and 1 hour of things are not working, please solve this to me, and like 20 people coming at you directly of I need this. Maybe talking to all of them wasn't that funny anymore, especially when you're tired. But those are the pros and cons of your job. But I still really love talking to people, and I actually realized immediately that anywhere I had to be or work for the future, it needs to be on a service department where I can interact with as many people as possible, because if I'm stuck to the same 2 to 3 people every day, I'll kill myself. Which is, I don't know if it's part of my nature, part of my charisma. Like, talk to people is like, this is so much fun. I wish I could do this forever. And I wish I could talk to and answer questions. And I say this every time, and I would never stop saying it. So yeah, maybe there will be parts of talking in front of people, to different guys and girls and, I don't know, bosses and suppliers and all of them, that there will be days that I will hate it. There will be days that I cannot do any more social interaction, because those social interactions really are tiring, really, really tiring. It looks like not, but oof, it takes a lot of you, because you need to adapt and have and play each day a different role with them. You are not the same person with a scientist or with an engineer that you are with a sales guy. You are not. You can't. Because then it would be impossible. Or you're not the same with your boss, or you're fixing mistakes, or he's giving you reasons of why you shouldn't do things the way they do, or putting you in different position, whatever. You can't. So each interaction is like a different act of an actor, like literally taking the interpretation of a different person every time, a slightly different person, because at the end you don't have 20 personalities, you have one, and you vary the things that you consider. You're more funny with your more close friends or colleagues, and you're more serious with the high stage of that company. But it's talking, so I'm on the fence. I think I cannot give a deep conclusion, because again, I see many people working on things that they don't love, but it's what they like, and what time has led them to. I see people working 100% on pure enjoyment. That's what I love, and I'm so glad that I can do that. And then we have people who just work to fill up their bank accounts, or has enough to do their hobbies. So I think in this world, actually, we can find so many different profiles of people. Those who work for money, those who work for because they love it, and those who work because there is a mix of both things and they aim for something better in the future. E.g., my case, like I work in something that I like half of it, I don't like the other half, and I'm working hard to put myself in a position of what I do is what I like, which is talking to people and sitting down like I'm doing right now. So who knows what will happen next? And this actually concludes my thought of working. I wish society and people had more time to think. Because if we had slightly more time to think about, to consider, to be taught, and maybe to see a bit more of the world, because we see so little when we are 18 and we choose our next path that almost define the entire life, or the following 5 years, if you're lucky. That maybe seeing that's like part of the world, and thank God that we have internet now. But I don't know. I truly believe that if young generations were given the opportunity to maybe travel around the world, to take a year, to not think, to be able to try for a few months, leave it without any repercussion, and then try again. If society actually accepted that, maybe people start actually aiming much better at what they like. Then you have people that after a 5-year university, they want to completely opposite stuff because they clearly see this is not what I like. Or they just take this is what I study, what is the slightly easiest and best possibility for me to actually make myself a future that is the most stable, secure. And then they go for that, and then their job becomes as a source of money, where they will not evolve, but they feel secure. maybe it's that. Maybe it's just time to actually define your path. Or maybe it's not. Maybe 1 year will never be enough, and it's a matter of trial and error, and learning and doing and trying. And above all, being slightly brave to break through boundaries, to break through stereotypes, and to leave things when you feel like it's the moment, no matter what you do, what you say, it's gonna be enough. It's tough, it's society, it's life, and there's not easy answer for it. But for all of you out there, I wish as many as you can, as many of you out there can actually have the happiest possible life. Okay? And this is pretty much it. Okay, I wanted to bring this topic. I actually enjoyed it a lot. That one of the conversations at work has allowed me to make this podcast of it's impossible and you will never work on something that you love. Work is just the source of money. That sentence alone is so powerful. It is so impetuous, so decisive that actually condition the way people could think around that. Thankfully, I'm not that easy to inflate, and that is what I brought today. I just put the cake, the bomb on top of the table. I'm not gonna actually turn it off. It's a matter of you to let it explode or to deactivate it and actually fight for something better. If you're working right now and you only see work as a source of money, but you need a change, do it. I wish you can, and you can take it or do it as fast or as soon as possible. If you actually feel like the work that you do, part of it, you love it, then keep it up, keep changing, keep improving. And if you actually found love in the job, congratulations. You're really lucky. I wish I was you. But this is it. I don't know, short, easy, but pretty interesting. I like these philosophical questions that we can all come and discuss. Podcast season 2. This is one of the living anecdotes that I have. And I'm gonna leave it here. I have a ton more things. My thesis, it's almost done. They chop and they took a lot of things from it and made me slightly angry, but we will talk about those things maybe next episode. We'll see. And if you haven't checked it out, go watch episode 1 of second season, CommonSense second season. It's gonna be much greater. It's going to be more dynamic. And also my reels and my shorts and all of that are way more good now, or better, whatever you can say, and better edited with clear object. So we'll see. Hope you like it. And that's it. I'll see you next week with episode 3. More living anecdotes, more reflections, and more of me, which is at the end what this is about.